going to be running up and down the Moab Rim today. As a lot of you know, it climbs about 1,000 foot in elevation as you get to the top. It's about a mile long. Once we get on top, we'll go do the loop. You guys play in Sand Hill. We'll probably go all the way out to the other overlook also. It's a beautiful overlook if you haven't been out there before. So it's going to be a good time. We're at the first major obstacle going up the Moab Rim, Devil's Crack. As you can see, the thing is to put the passenger side tire in the crack, and this one over here up on the wall a little bit here. There you go, you got her. Give me a high five on that. Next stop is going to be the Z-turn. It's up ahead of here, about another 15 minutes. You got to get there first though. Steady uphill, lots of rock ledges.
What did you think of the trail so far?
It's awesome. Little step up for us, and little hard with the front locker not quite working right, but hey, we're getting through it.
Here we are looking across the way. You can see Poison Spider up there, the portal arch, and the portal cave over on the right side there. Most people go up to the arch, but they don't see the cave around the corner. Okay, we're coming up on a little edge here at the top of the Moab Rim. If you don't do it right, it starts to bounce you off to the right. You can see where a lot of people make contact with bumpers in the rocks. I did that once myself years ago, got stuck, broke my Jeep right there. So here we are, we made it to the top of the Moab Rim. You see the city of Moab down below. It was in the late 1890s, first postmaster came to Moab. He had to come up with a name for the settlement. And that's when he came on the Bible and the word Moab. The Moab Valley is the green valley, red rocks around it, a river running through it, and mountains to the east, just like it's described in the Bible. He showed that to the city fathers at the time, and they said, yes, call it Moab. Wasn't too long, he filed the paperwork. It was that, people started getting mail. Started looking at that word Moab a little more and reading the Bible a little closer. Hey, how dare you name our peaceful valley after such an evil place? The Moab Valley is where Sodom and Gomorrah was. And you know what God did to those two cities? He cursed them, destroyed them with fire. Told Abraham, you know, to warn Lot, his wife, daughters they left, and they left and said, don't look back, right? What happened when Lot's wife looked back? Turned to a pillar of salt, yes. How dare you name our peaceful valley after such an evil place? Well, the town kept growing. Streets got narrower because automobiles could put it in reverse and back up without having to go all the way around the block. And what do we have? In the 1950s, 52, uranium ore was being discovered all over the Poison Strip out there. And Charlie Steen, a broke guy with glasses this thick, college trained, but couldn't get in the army because he was so blind. He was a college trained geologist. He figured if the ore was out there on the surface, over here by the mountain, it just had to be under the ground. He went out there and he had a dream about a cross on a rock. He found a cross that the monks had cut in the rock at one time. with some moss in it. And nearby he drilled a hole. And he went down as deep as he could before he broke the bit on the end of the hole. He thought he had to get so far and he didn't make it. But what he didn't know was he'd already drilled through the highest grade uranium ore ever found at that time. He scraped some up in a jar and took it back with him in his old flatbed Jeep back out to Cisco where he was living. Going over the old bridge there, Stewie Bridge, the guy at the Texaco station, he had one of those new things they call a Geiger counter. He held it up to the jar and it just blew the meter. Charlie, I don't think I'd ride the same vehicle with that. Charlie quickly went on over to Grand Junction. They said, well, how did you do this? Did you refine this somehow? Nope. So it came out of the ground. Show us where. That's right. Think, Charlie. If you tell them where it's at, they're going to announce a big find. Everybody's going to go out there. He says, Whiskey Creek, you know. Wouldn't tell them where it was. Load them up. We're going to head on out over to the overlook at the far south end of the valley. Let's go.
Sean, what kind of theme are you going with this Jeep here?
Well, I'm a disabled veteran, Navy veteran. I was stationed on the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. It's an aircraft carrier out of Portsmouth, Virginia. It's still in service to this day. Basically, I did the graphics, so just kind of support the troops that are still serving and still fighting for our country, and they make me proud, so I'm trying to do them proud.
With each image, what are you trying to represent here?
Well, the soldiers are just the soldiers fighting. The aircraft carrier kind of represents the carrier that I was stationed on. And the helicopter with the diver kind of hanging from the bottom is the search and rescue swimmer, which was what I did in the service. The USS American is just kind of a play on the Rubicon America type theme, and then the CVN-69 was actually the ship that I was stationed on.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about your experience with the search and rescue portion of it.
Well, I served in the first Gulf War, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Did numerous rescue missions and stuff like that. On a rough water rescue, I actually stepped out of the helicopter just not quite at the right time and hit the water wrong and broke my back and kind of messed up my knees and everything. And so that kind of ended my career there.
Headed on down the big giant sand hill on the backside of the loop. And here we're going to make it's a big counterclockwise loop. There's a couple roads running off over there, dead ends that you can come and play on, but today, in the interest of time, we're headed back down. Now, every time you get down here, there's always somebody in a big engine's got to try to throttle it all the way to the top. You can see where some may have made it this far. You got to have some wet, packy sand, a V8 engine, and about 4 pounds of tire pressure. We've done the loop on top, went down the giant sand hill. It's a big counterclockwise loop. We're back to the top and joining the trail. We're going to start our shoot down. It's almost a mile long and we're going to drop, like I said, about 900 foot in elevation. More people roll going downhill and uphill. The weight of the vehicle in the front goes down in the hole, the rear end's light, and over she can go. Well, we're about halfway down the Moab Rim. I'm in the middle of the Z-turn right here. This is the point right in front of me. Makes me the most nervous on this trail. You drop the left front tire in the hole. The weight of the engine takes it down. The rear's light. Over you go here, really easy. Well, that was a good trip up the Moab Rim and back. Started about 10, back down by 2. Had a good trip. Everybody have a good time?
We did. Yeah, great time.
I want to thank the Wild Bunch and everybody else for coming out with us today and supporting us here as we did another episode of the Moab Rocks with Dan and Richard Mick, Moab Rock Stars. See you again. Watch us on TV.